Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I am Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And this is episode 18, take two.
Take two.
Because GarageBand ate everything.
Just straight up ate about 40 minutes of the last podcast, which honestly is probably for the best. There was a 15-minute part at the end where I was just yelling about nerds.
It got way off topic. It was a wrestling podcast for about 20, 25 minutes.
So because it deleted it, basically what happened is I yelled at Josh for a little while.
Not at me.
Not at you. I yelled to you, airing my grievances about things, and then I felt better. But then the podcast got deleted, so we're gonna skip all that this time. The episode we are watching today is Green with Evil Part 2, Jason's Battle.
Yes.
And it aired October 6th, 1993. We didn't watch the episode again.
Nope.
So we're gonna pause and we're gonna do the intro, like the music, just because that's what you've come to expect. But when we come back, know that no time passed.
If you're new here, hey,
what's up? How's it going? Welcome.
This is a really bad place to jump in because we're doing it different.
Plus, it's like part 2, so like just go back to yesterday's episode.
Listen to part 1. Figure it out. All right. Anyway, without further ado, I do believe that
it's Morphin time! And we're back. We didn't watch the episode.
I mean, we did watch it.
We did watch
like
it, but
4 days
we
ago.
watched it, 3 or 4 days ago. Before we get started, our website is morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter at morphingrid. Those are all the cool places on the internet that we can be found.
All the places.
All the places.
I don't know how cool they are.
Twitter's pretty cool.
Twitter, I think, is still pretty hip. Happening.
Our Tumblr is fine. It's just links to the episode.
I don't use Tumblr, so I don't know how relevant and cool it is.
Oh, I like Tumblr.
I can't figure it out.
It just scrolls down.
I know, but
you follow things, you scroll down, you reblog things.
It's way more complicated than that when you get there.
I don't think so. Also, you can probably hear the birds really well.
Or not at all, depending on how this mic is aimed.
Right, yeah. Because, again, we got new setup.
I'd rather hear the birds than our neighbors.
That's true.
Birds add a nice ambiance. Ambiance.
You said, like, you got fancy halfway through a word. You're like, ambiance. All right, so
this is the first thing I've done today. So
yeah, no, I know. You texted me about 3 minutes after I woke up that you were coming to grab me, which is weird for me to sleep in. But I watched the Veronica Mars movie and I didn't get home till like 1:30. So I was a sleepy baby, and I woke up and then we came here. So we're gonna jump right in the episode.
Yep. Started in your bed, now we're here.
All
right, yeah, let's talk about Power Rangers.
Let's talk about Power Rangers. What do you say?
I'll say okay.
So we started off with Jason in the command center with a handful of wires.
Right, okay.
like a baby playing with spaghetti for the first time. Just looking at it like, what is this? How do I use any of this? Because last time, if you'll recall, some mysterious Green Ranger, or some mysterious thing, because they don't even know it was the Green Ranger. They just know there's also a Green Ranger that doesn't like them.
Right.
But they don't know yet that he was also the one that attacked the command center.
Well, Jason figures it out.
He does figure it out pretty quickly, but as of right now...
Right, they don't know what happened.
They don't know what happened. The place has been ransacked. Zordon is cut off from this dimension, and he knows exactly who it is.
Right.
So it's a good thing he's cut off, or else, they'd be like, it's Tommy, stop him. Jason is wearing something stupid.
Well, he's got his red button-down sleeveless tank top.
Yep. A classic look. And then red pants with black pockets.
And I feel like he's worn those pants before.
I don't remember the black pockets, but I see the red pants. Everything goes white.
Everything goes red.
Everything goes red. They get so mad. Trini's also wearing a golf hat. She was wearing it last time, and we didn't point it out. It's really dumb. Trini, get rid of that. You look like a cabbie from like a 1950s screwball comedy. So Billy is welding Alpha's guts back together. He's just got Alpha's back off, and he has like two generic space laser guns from Walmart duct taped together.
They might be super glued.
Maybe I didn't see any duct tape, but they are stuck together somehow, and he is like zapping it at Alpha. They are trying to figure out what to do, I guess, because Billy is not sure if welding with this subatomic manipulator, he's not sure if that will fix Alpha or not.
He's pretty sure.
Well, he doesn't seem super confident. He's like...
But, like, yeah, he's about as sure as Billy...
Right.
...can be,
to be fair,
about brand new science.
He's never performed surgery on
on a fully sentient...
A fully functional sentient automaton?
Sure.
I think that's what it was.
I know it was a lot of syllables.
Definitely a lot. It wouldn't be Billy if it wasn't a lot of syllables. Then we cut up to the moon, where Rita is talking about the Sword of Darkness.
Yes.
I don't remember what the context is.
It's basically...
Squat says, we should give him Sword of Darkness, right?
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, oh, the Screen Ranger's great. And then Squat's like, we should give him the Sword of Darkness. And Goldar's like, yes, it'll keep him under your spell forever.
And then they show like a little clip of the Nasty Knight from episode 10 fighting unmorphed Mammoth Ranger
from the Z Ranger.
From the Z Ranger footage, saying that like last time they had the Sword of Darkness, it destroyed one of Zordon's agents or whatever. And it's like, I think they literally showed this clip before. Like, this is the same clip they showed for when they were like, the Nasty Knight's a bad dude. So then Rita teleports to Earth, where Tommy is in that one alleyway again.
Well, they like bring him back there?
Did they?
I think, yeah. She like teleports him back, and she's just like, Tommy... She sounds like Zordon, I guess.
We're here.
Just stay here till we call you. And he's like, whatever pleases my empress.
Right. Yeah, this is the same place he got kidnapped from.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they just bring him back where he left from.
And then, because they probably filmed him at the same time.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm positive they did. But the important part about this is that Rita is standing on a building, looking down at Tommy, gesturing with her hands.
Yeah.
But her mouth is completely closed. It's definitely a different person.
Right.
This is probably new footage, I would imagine, that they were like, no one will notice. But we did.
We did now.
We did now. I'm positive that I didn't notice then. I was too much, freaking out about how the Rangers were going to get themselves out of this one to worry about stand-in Rita not talking at Tommy. So then, who comes up but Bulk and Skull? And I don't know what happened to Bulk in his life to make his pattern recognition skills this terrible. But he comes up to Tommy, and Tommy's just standing alone just waiting.
He's waiting there
waiting for
until
his
they need him.
And so Bulk and Skull come up, and Bulk's like, hey, nobody embarrasses like that. And Skull's like, yeah, nobody embarrasses us like that. And then Bulk's like, I think you should apologize. And then
I'm sure Skull's like, yeah, apologize.
Probably. Following the pattern. So then Tommy like flashes his eyes green at them. And they're like, never mind. And they start like running away. And then Tommy shoots droopy static laser beams.
Limp laser beams out of his eyes.
Which hit them in the feet and launch them into a dumpster. Which, all things considered, is pretty tame.
Yeah.
Because he could have just kicked the two of them in the head so hard they died, probably.
In one kick, probably.
Yeah, with the same kick. Just go through Skull's head into Bulk. But, like, what's your plan, Bulk? What's the best case scenario?
You know you can't beat this guy.
You know you can't beat him. And you have a proven track record of being afraid of this particular human because of the other day at school where he karateed in your face and then you ran away. And now there's no witnesses to, like, stop him from killing you? Even if he wasn't under a spell, he can still beat the two of you up in an alleyway and just leave you there. Like,
it just shows how dense Bulk really is and how he's not putting on a performance to be
like
that guy at school. He's just an idiot. Even out of context,
right.
He's just stupid.
He's just stupid. I get that, and I kind of like it because it's like, I don't know if I talked about this last episode or in the episode that got eaten, but I like that Bulk and Skull are bullies, and they are bullies and the stupidest people alive who always lose, because like it's a good message to send to kids. Like,
right, that's basically at this point why they exist.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, hey, bullies are dumb and nobody likes them, and they get beaten up and thrown into dumpsters.
Right. Their point is to, when they show up, you're gonna laugh at the bullies.
Yeah. So it's like to teach you to not be afraid of them, and I like that.
Yeah.
Then we cut over to the juice bar, where Zach is holding a punching bag. And
we don't know that yet. Jason's just lighting up a punching bag.
Yeah, and Jason is trying to kill this punching bag.
And then it cuts to Zach's face. It looks like he's about to throw up because he's getting this punching bag punched into him.
Into his whole front. His entire front of him is transferring the punches via bag into his guts. And then, I lost my notes. Okay.
Oh no! I hope you.
No, I mean I lost where I was in my notes. And then so Jason is like, he's mad about the command center being all torn up and Zordon being cut off and Alpha being virused. Yeah. But he can't, like, he doesn't know anything that he can do.
Right.
And I think that's why he's so mad. It's because like he can't help it all.
Right.
Because he doesn't know anything about wires or computers
right.
or anything. But
all he knows is how to fight, but they don't know where the guy is.
Right. And he's talking to Zach because after he like calms down and Zach's like, oh, thank God. I was afraid I was going to die. Jason's like, maybe it's the Green Ranger that we fought yesterday that did it. I mean, he shows up.
Well, Zach asked him, he's like, hey, do you think it's the green guy that attacked the command center? And then Jason says, it has to be. It's way too coincidental.
Too much of a coincidence not to. So Jason watches Power Rangers.
Right. Yeah.
And he can put it together. But they basically like they try to figure out like what the Green Ranger is, and like,
right,
because they're like, he's got a costume on just like ours. You know,
right.
So
and
like,
Jason even says, like, I can't get this guy out of my head. He's driving me nuts.
It's eating him alive. Then we cut over to... before we cut over. I do like that Jason figured it out. Like,
right.
Or at least he doesn't know he's right yet.
Right, but I mean, he put together a theory that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I like that because it's not just like Jason's the dumb guy who can...
Because Billy is occupied. Him and Trini are fixing the command center.
Plus, they're not really this kind of smart. I mean, Trini maybe, but Billy is not like, here are some
There's
clues.
no math formula to tell you it was the Green Ranger.
Exactly, yeah. There's no math formula. There's no equations. There's no, like, scientific principles already in place. So it's basically just like, it's Jason going like, I have stuff to contribute to other than being the guy who is really good at fighting. Yeah. Then we cut back to the command center where Billy is really close to fixing Alpha. He hopes. He's not sure.
As far as he can tell.
He's like, I have welded all these, I have subatomically manipulated as many particles as I can.
Because I guess that's how a virus works. It attacks the subatomic particles of Alpha.
I mean...
And you have to manipulate them out?
But, like, they were on a CD.
Because all he had was a virus.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't...
You
shouldn't have
hardware.
to bust him open and zap him with a ray gun.
Unless it's like laser excising
he should have like went down into the command center basement, found Alpha 4, see if there's like
an old operating
reboot disk in there.
Go back to factory settings. But Alpha is fixed, and Trini has taken her dumb hat off in the interim, which is good.
Yes.
So Alpha's fixed, and he can't remember what happened.
Because his memory
was affected by the virus. So then, I don't know if it was Billy or Trini or Alpha. It was one of those three, and they said, like, we need to get the janitor back
The
online.
janitor needs to come in and clean up this mess.
The same janitor who's never cleaning up Angel Grove High. Because he works for Zordon. Zordon takes precedence, I guess. But Zordon's out, so we can't call the janitors. The janitor's just sitting at home, doing nothing.
Okay, back on track.
Back on track. They need to get the generator back online. And Billy's like, I can do it. It'll just take time. And Alpha goes, time. The one thing we don't have. I mean, you also don't have Zordon, which would probably be helpful. You seem like you don't have any like hints as to his identity.
Does this mean that the command center has unlimited funding?
What do you mean?
If it took money, apparently they have that, because the only thing they don't have is time.
Right. Well, time is money. So they don't have time, they don't have money either.
Oh, right. Okay.
But they don't really need it, because you can just fix it by, putting it back together.
The command center is self-contained.
Self-repairing.
Like, everything to fix it is in it.
Right.
Or Billy's garage.
Or Billy's got the part back at home. Okay, so then we go back
I should point out, because we're about to cut back to Kimberly and Zach, I think.
No, we're about to cut. That's way later in the episode.
Okay. We're
about to cut to Kimberly, though.
Okay. I'll hold off on this comment until we get to Kimberly and Zach.
Okay. So we cut down to Angel Grove High, where Kimberly is, like, going up to Tommy. And this is
all right. Yep, I remember now.
And then it's time for our unofficial segment. Tommy, why are you wearing that?
We haven't done what Kimberly's wearing yet.
We'll do it in a second.
All right.
But Tommy is first. Usually it's Jason who gets this treatment, but Tommy
he's challenging him in more than fighting skills.
Yes, yeah, he is going for the throat on this one.
There's a new poorly dressed jock in town, Jason. Better watch yourself.
So he's wearing green corduroy pants, which is probably a crime in several countries.
Very hip.
And then he's got a green tank, like a dark green tank top on. And then over that dark green tank top is this mesh vest. It looks like maybe it was knit. Or
it might have been a sweater that he cut the sleeves off of. And a bunch of holes in.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's just like really loosely. Because Trini has that sweater that is similar looking.
Sure.
And I like the sweater because it looks good on Trini. This doesn't look good on anybody. It's like you pointed out when you're in gym class and you can't play shirts versus skin. So it's like here's a bunch of smelly
highlighter colored vests.
And so Tommy is playing flag football on the green team. The green team, I guess. Oh, it's so bad. And then so Kimberly walks up and she's like, "Hey, you didn't show the other day. Is everything all right?" Because she got stood up and she's worried about that.
Right.
And I think this is a good point to point out how dark this episode kind of gets. Like nobody wins. None of the good guys really win anything.
No. The only thing that can maybe be chalked up to a win is just a giant move of desperation.
Yeah.
It's not even really a win. It's just kind of like
they just didn't
bet
lose.
You didn't expect this.
So we'll get to that in a couple minutes, but yeah, it's like starting pretty much at the beginning of the episode. Like they get Alpha back online. Yay. That's really the only thing they accomplish.
They don't have it's going to take longer than this episode to fix the command center.
Yep.
So they don't have that.
Yeah, Zordon's still offline. Kimberly has this crush on a guy who is a jerk all of a sudden.
He is green with evil.
Absolutely. Because he's like, I had more important things to do. And she's like, oh, are you upset with me for some reason? Because they just met.
She only ever said, "Hey, do you want to hang
Right,
out?"
yeah.
That's the only thing she ever said to him.
And like now he's yelling at her and she doesn't know what to do because like it's just so sudden, you know? Like, and so he's like, "Newsflash, Kimberly, the world doesn't revolve around you." And she's like, "Excuse me for living," and like runs away to go cry in the bathroom. I am positive that's where that led. Let's do what was Kimberly wearing real quick.
All right.
She's got a huge scrunchie. A scrunchie with hair growing powers.
I thought she had a hat on.
No?
It's 4 days ago. My memory is notoriously wonderful. So
she got this gigantic scrunchie that grew her hair because she had a haircut last episode and now her hair is longer.
She even had a haircut at the beginning of this episode.
Yep. And then she put the scrunchie on. Boom. Hair. It's in that like ponytail where there's still
her hair's still down.
Her hair's still down,
okay,
but there's also some like a ponytail going on. She's got a denim vest and like a floral,
like sundress under it, right?
No, because she's got like a pink top.
Okay.
With like some lace around the collar, and then her skirt is pink, but it's also got like a flower pattern, not like a pattern, but like a picture of flowers wrapped around it on it. I don't know how to describe it because I don't know how to describe clothing at all because I'm terrible at that. And then I think you said she has her Chucks on.
She does. She has the low cut pink Chucks.
Because I didn't notice them.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what Kimberly was wearing. I think that's the only part for this episode. But then we cut back up to space, where Rita is just like hype about Tommy in general, and Goldar is super on board for some reason, even though Tommy's his replacement.
Hate it. Goldar should be mad until Tommy beats him up.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like
because they have to test him for the Sword of Darkness. I think is where we're getting at with this scene.
Yeah,
and they're gonna test him by sending a handful of
just 6 putties.
5. I think it's only 5.
Yeah, it's not even 6. It's an actual handful. Which he beat earlier. He already
Billy's beaten 5 putties.
Maybe not at the same time, but I feel like now he probably could.
Now he could.
Because just putties.
It gets to the point where they send like 50 putties after these kids every episode.
There was an episode coming up. I remember from my last watch through where like there was like literally like 100 putties that just kept coming.
When they split up in later episodes, they still have like 10 putties apiece to fight. But 5 of them is good enough for this ancient relic that'll keep you under my spell and give you all this strength. Maybe make him fight Goldar, and the winner gets the Sword of Darkness Championship.
That would make sense. Maybe, I just thought of this, because the Sword of Darkness will keep him under her spell forever.
Yeah.
Right? But he has to earn the sword, right?
Right.
So maybe she wants him to get the sword so he'll be under her spell. So she's just like, let's give him a stupid easy challenge.
But wouldn't...
Here's 5 putties. He can beat 5 putties, then he'll get the sword and he'll be under my spell.
They also present it in a way that's like, we need to make sure he's the one.
Right.
Like, so like, I don't know, make him take a Zord out. He can get into him. So make him run to the jungle and jump into the saber-toothed tiger and rip its power cord.
Take its head off.
You know, and then the whole Megazord doesn't work because its right foot is gone, or its left foot. Its left foot is gone.
I have him backwards on my Megazord at home.
I have them backwards in my head.
Yeah, one or the other. Those are the 2 options.
Yes.
Yeah, there could have been a million things that...
and that would have... The Power Rangers would have died in this episode if they didn't have a Megazord.
Absolutely. At least 4 of them.
Or they would have left. I don't know. Power Rangers is weird, because when the Rangers leave, the bad guys stop.
Yeah.
So... We're defeated. We got to go back to the command center and regroup. The bad guy's like, all right, take
we'll
time.
give you time.
I'm going to go.
So, no, they called timeout. We can't.
I'm going to go have a juice.
Can't destroy Angel Grove. They can call timeout. So the way they get to this challenge is they're in space, and then Rita goes, yeah, we'll all go to this place where the Sword of Darkness is. We'll take a field trip. And then they get there, and it's like on this hill in Northern Ireland.
It's like a beach area.
It's like a cliffside thing. It's really like green, a lot of grass, very picturesque. And they're just walking down the hill, waiting, and then Tommy just literally appears on a rock.
He just kind of like walks out from behind a rock wall.
Like, Empress, I'm here for my challenge. But Babu,
I swam to Ireland.
I just want to point out, Babu has a recorder for no reason. Like, record the musical instruments
yes.
that you play hot cross buns on in 3rd grade.
He has to summon the sword with it.
With hot cross swords. Hot cross swords. See you run. I don't know the rest.
I don't know.
I don't remember how it goes. So the putty fight is on the beach, where Tommy basically murks 4 of the 5 putties, and then the last one he jumps on his face.
Right. He does get... They're like a stalemate, once. And like one of them throws another one at him and kicks him in the chest, and that sets off the fury button. And then they all are vanquished very quickly.
And then he jumps at him butt first. Like, legs completely split
basically
open.
Crotch first.
Yeah, he hits him with his gooch. But it's not just a flying gooch attack. It's a Hurricane Rana, which he lands.
Flying gooch. I hate that. I hate that so much.
And then he flips the guy over with a Hurricane Rana, and that kills him.
That kills him dead.
Also, last episode, I said, they call them putty patrollers because, they don't have, like, our slang to call them putties. Then Goldar called them putties this episode, immediately making me a liar. Thanks, Goldar.
He's a villain.
What a bro. You are a villain. So he beats the putties, and it's really easy to earn the sword because they just give it to him. All right, you did it. There you go. Here's your sword.
And he does some karate sword moves.
Of course. Then we cut back to... The next thing I have in my notes is Jason looking for Tommy at school.
Yes.
Is there anything in between that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So they're at school, and Jason's like, "Hey, have you seen Tommy?" to like some random guy. And I was like, I wrote down a note. I was like, "Why is he looking for Tommy? That doesn't make any sense." But then he answered it like immediately when he saw Tommy. So it's fine. He fixed it. Everything's fine. He goes up and he's like, "Oh, Tommy, I know I said we were gonna work out today, but something came up, and I can't." And Tommy's like stone faced. Like ice cold.
Very sarcastically.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And then Tommy's like, "All right, yeah, cool, man." And he turns around and starts walking away and gets laser blasted with the power coin.
The power coin. It's like a green laser. Get over here.
Get over here. And it blasts him.
Except it puts it in the dark dimension.
Get over there. Go over to the dark dimension. Or the demon face space cage, as I call it. So he lands.
Dark dimension is a lot easier to say,
but I think demon face space cage.
You have to think about it every time you're going to say it.
Only a little bit because
you pause for a second.
Because if I don't, my mouth and my
demon
brain
space cage.
My brain won't connect, and then it'll be
demon
like,
cage space.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'll sound like an idiot, more of an idiot than I normally do. So he's in the demon space. See? That's why. That's why I think about it.
Because I also said it 2 wrong ways as you were talking.
He's in the dark dimension.
Yeah.
And he wakes up, and there's like, it just zooms in on one of the demon faces, which until this time, I swear to God, they were kitty cats. Like...
Why would there be kitty cats in the dark dimension?
I don't know. It's Japanese.
It's this evil cage, apparently just free floating in space, because there's just only black.
Yeah, there's just space
windows,
behind it.
Which they're. The bars are electrified because Jason grabs one. So there's no glass between them because he gets his hand completely around it. There's so unless it's encapsulated in something, there's no way to breathe.
Right. I mean, it's magic,
That's true. There is a lot of magic.
So that's what I assume is going on there. He tries his communicator, doesn't work, and then we cut back down to...
Well, Goldar's there.
Not yet.
No, he is, because the first time Jason tries his communicator, he's like, "It's not gonna work."
Is that the first? No, I thought he tried it.
Did it cut away?
Yeah, it cut down to Kimberly and Zach.
Okay.
And then it cuts back like 3 times. Like it bounces back really quick, and then Goldar's there the second time.
Right.
And Jason tries it again.
Right.
And then Goldar's like, "Hey, it's not gonna work." But we cut down to Kimberly and Zach waiting at Billy's garage on the rad bug.
On the rad bug, because they had to take the rad bug out because there's no teleportation right now.
Because the grid's down.
This is a little bit of Trilly Watch. It's a stretch. So Billy and Trini are basically trapped in the mood-lit command center. Zordon's gone. Alpha's turned off.
There's just a bunch of sexy robot parts hanging around. Broken lights.
It's lit very provocatively.
It is. It is.
But I don't think anything happened because Billy is freaking out because he's trapped at the command center instead of at school.
Right. He has class. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he only chooses to go to school. I don't know. Yeah, I could see, or I could, it could be like, all right, guys, let's go back. And Billy's like, well, I got to stay here to try to fix Alpha.
Right.
And Trini's like, yeah, I'll stay with him, try to fix Alpha.
Yeah, so what needs to translate for him?
Alpha? And everyone's like, whatever. We know you guys are just going to make out.
Right. Right. Billy definitely has Alpha fixed by now. He's just off because you guys want to make out, do some snogging.
You haven't turned the switch from broken to fixed yet. But yeah, so Kimberly is like bumming hard. She's probably cried all through 4th period. She's sitting on the rad bug, and Zach comes up. He's like, all right, where's Jason? And she's like, oh, he didn't show up yet. I'm like, that's weird. And then then they go, okay, let's leave then.
They wait for him. Let's wait a little longer.
For like a minute, yeah. And they're like, something's weird. We got to go see if the command center is working again. So they jump in the rad bug, and they drive there and
drive through the sky.
They fly.
It's the only way to fly.
Stop making that try to happen.
That's
Zach.
Twice in 2 episodes that Zach specifically has said.
It's not going to happen, Zach. Unless United Airways has some sort of sponsorship.
They have a line of rad bugs.
They go to 3,000 miles in like 6 seconds, so that can get you across the United States
in 6 seconds.
Oh, that's stupid. That's way too fast. That's them. that's almost Birdemic levels of
of just ridiculous numbers.
Here's a big number. I made $1 billion. Woo!
And that was at 50% off.
It was $1 million with 50% off. It would have made literally twice as much if he wasn't such a terrible salesman. We're not going to talk about Birdemic. If you guys haven't seen it, I think it might still be on Netflix. You should check it out. It's terrible. Or you should go buy the riff tracks and listen to it that way. Because at least that makes it tolerable.
Right.
Anyway, so we go back to the demon face space cage where Jason is still trying his communicator or is like, oh, no, time's passed. Let me try it again. And then Goldar shows up and he's like, that's not going to work in here. And so Jason tries it again anyway. Because Jason's like, I'm not going to listen to the bad guy.
Right, even though he knows it's not working.
Like, it already didn't work anyway.
Because Billy hasn't fixed the command center yet.
Plus, he knows that it was down.
Yeah.
Right? So I might just be a case of panic and I need to get help somehow.
He's like, please fix it. Please.
Maybe fix it. Maybe fix it now. And Goldar's like, it's not going to work. And he's like,
this is the first time. This is the first time one of them has been taken away. It's the first time they've been kidnapped. Yeah. Not counting Madame Woe's Dark Dimension, but they were all together then.
Yeah, he's the only one there. He's not morphed. He reaches for his morpher, and Goldar has pickpocketed it from him.
He's got it.
He's
he was creeping around in the fog and just
doing a Miz face.
Nobody knows what that is but us.
No, that's fine. That's fine. If you tweet us, I will send you a picture of the Miz face, so you'll know what we're talking about. You'll still have no context, but. We cut back down to the Rangers because Zach and Kimberly drive.
Well, before we cut back down, Goldar also says because he has the morpher. Nope, that's later.
That's after.
That's the next time they come back. All right,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm awful.
They cut back really quickly to keep the pace up, which I like. So they're Kimberly and Zach are in. I think this is before we cut back, but anyway, they're in the command center now because they drove there in the rad bug.
Yep.
And they have the sub generator online. Billy like plugs a panel back in, and so like a lot of the systems are back up, but still not Zordon. That's still, pell mell.
Right.
And they see on the viewing globe that the Green Ranger is attacking. I guess.
Sure.
Is that what happens? Because then they go down there and they get beat up quick, and they jump into their Zords immediately. Right. Because Jason's not there to
Zach's
temper
leadership
it.
is we have an advantage. Let's just stomp him.
Right.
Like, he's gonna wreck us if we don't have Jason, who's the only guy who even remotely matched him last episode.
Right. Yeah.
So,
he's still got Hadouken for his troubles.
So Zach is basically considering this fight escalated.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. He's like, we're at a disadvantage. Get in the Morphin. Get in the Zords. So they get in their Zords. They put them together. One of the Zords must have texted Tyrannosaurus. Because
the Tyrannosaurus couldn't text back with his tiny arms.
But he got the text and he showed up. Because Jason wasn't there to call him, but you know, the others were. They put the Megazord together, and the Megazord fights the Green Ranger by himself.
Yep.
This is what we were talking about earlier, about how this is sort of the upper hand, but it's really just a desperate attempt to not die. Because
we don't know about the Dragon Zord yet.
Right. But the sword...
Rita's keeping that in her back pocket.
Yeah.
Because the Green Ranger almost just beat the Megazord.
Right. He zaps it with a like a giant laser from the Sword of Darkness, and like...
It's deflected by the Mammoth Shield.
By the Mammoth Shield, and like it hits near the Green Ranger, and he goes, all right, I'm out for this one.
Right.
I'll be back, though. So like... He fought the Megazord, and they didn't win.
No, he was just like, not right now. He's
like,
not in the mood to fight a giant mech.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I need to regroup for this, for a minute. So then we go back to the demon face space cage. Now I have to sound it out because
you got demon without having to think about it.
Well, I know it starts with demon, but then it's space and face rhyme. So like,
and cage is close.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're in the dark dimension, and Goldar is like, hey, we got this thing. You got your morpher. And he drops it.
Because he's like, hey, your communicator doesn't work, but this might.
And he drops
it.
And he goes,
drops it in the fog.
So Jason, like, rolls for it and, like, reaches, and Goldar brings his sword down quick. And, like... Jason would have lost a hand if he didn't pull it back in time. And then he, like... Goldar, like, swings the sword at him a little bit, and so he, like, lands. Like, he just jumps kind of backwards, lands on his back. And we end the episode with I keep calling Goldar Zordon. With Goldar, like, pointing his sword at
Jason's face.
Like, his chest, face.
Like, neckle area.
Yeah. And, like... It just ends. To be continued.
To be continued.
What?
Darkest timeline right now.
This is man. This could get scary. This is a dark episode. Like,
yeah.
So like we end it with like the Power Rangers not winning.
The Power Rangers who have never had a battle go past an episode are now losing at the end of episode 2.
Yeah. That means at least a third one.
They're losing a lot.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
They're losing a lot at the end of episode 2.
They're not doing well this week.
At one point in this episode, I think they got Zordon partially back for a hot minute, but all he said was, Rangers, green, bad. And then,
it was right at the end. I think it was right before they cut back to the Dark Dimension the last time.
Right.
I think it was like for like 1 second, they're like, Rangers, oh god. Oh crap, Alpha.
Yep. And then Alpha's like, I lost him.
Yeah, oh there he goes. Rats. Someone's hacking our Wi-Fi. Can't get a good signal on Zordon. So this is episode 18 in the books. Any final thoughts?
Well, not really about the episode, but if this episode of the Morphin Grid sounds a little stiff, I apologize, but it's the second time we've done it.
Yeah, so, the second time we did it, we didn't watch it.
I think we did pretty good, but we made some of the same jokes again, so they didn't hit right.
Right.
So we apologize. Not our fault. GarageBand ate a good 40 minutes of podcast.
Yeah, that was fun.
Hopefully it doesn't do it this time, because if it does...
That'll be the whole podcast, basically.
We might have to quit the Morphin grid.
Yep, I'm going to take a week off. So anyway, in conclusion, our website is morphingrid.tumblr.com. I have episode posts. I don't have the last 2 up. At this point, I don't have the last 3 up. I might by the time you're hearing this, because I don't have 15 and 16 up yet, because I got lazy. It happens. So
it does, no, I understand. I can't even be mad.
So, morphingrid.tumblr.com. You can email us, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter, @morphingrid. Again, if you tweet us and go, hey, what's the Miz face? I will literally send you a picture of what the Miz face is. So at least you will have a visual reference to what we're talking about if we ever say it again. If you are on iTunes, if you got this via iTunes,
which you probably did.
Which the odds are good that you did, because it's the easiest way to get it. But if you're there and you feel like leaving a rating and review, that would be killer. We got 2 5-star ratings.
Yeah, let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Things you might want changed. Maybe if we think it's a good idea, we'll try it.
Yeah.
Any ideas for segments?
Yeah, because
it's a review. You can write whatever you want.
You can write whatever you want. It's your life, or you
just
can
keep it PG, because we're trying to be family friendly.
Yeah, and if you can email us if you have any suggestions too. We haven't checked the email in a while.
No,
we'll do that. We'll do that soon.
We'll do it today.
Yeah. All right. So other than that, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Again, the next one will be better. Promise you.
Yes.
Plus, it's really early in the morning.
It's the middle episode, so I feel like there's a shift.
There's at least a fight between Goldar and Jason.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or the continuation of their fight, anyway.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be good. We will see you tomorrow with Green with Evil.
We won't see you, but you will hear us.
You will hear us. No, we're watching them, so they're okay. If you download this.
Right, we work for the government, so if you have a webcam, we can see you downloading.
Yeah.
No,
so we can't tell how many.
We can't really.
We can't tell how many subscribers we have on iTunes.
The podcast is getting dark now. It's getting a little dark.
See what happens. See what happens. All right. Before this gets any farther off the rails, and it's.
Oh, you want to talk about wrestling for the next hour or two?
Well, no, I do constantly, but this is not the venue for it. So again, thank you for listening, and until next time, may the power protect you.
That was on point.
Na. Hold on, don't touch anything.
You do everything.